Okay, abusunya be makwa abasonko so e de ba Ghana Politics Avenue so. Abusunya yembonra eye yensemu. Eye Attorney General Ghost name scandal no. Abusunya echese ehu bi ato NPP leaders in this one as a former NPP appointees maybe those involved in the scandal and as a omo crampa omonka NSS scandal almost scandal ye different no abusunya say it's true be about Tom so omo demrika ako attorney general officer omo kwa plead for a bargaining na abusunya enye asam keto. There is much interesting moment ahead abusunya NPP for na nkasa omo share the wa attorney general osibitia on faboni bia enche why ready say obema accountability no akoso ntino omo ankasa tena asedwene ho na omo hye eye adubuahin ni case baby ebubowura NSS ghost name baby ebubowura na abusuya na omo say omo de mirika tente eko attorney general na ase omo asaranda attorney general omo sre na omo de omo sika na omo wi anyina bayeden ebeba na echese ode omo boni ache omo attorney general kana ono ankasa no mutu waka ewa hase mumi yankona yankonko tie ensema ekoso medamase unsubscribe ya subscribe like na share ma afofronso ensa into me enkabia ha Ghana Politics Avenue so medamase.
And gentlemen, for your very wonderful questions. The question in relation to the member of parliament who was in the center of the investigation. There are two members of parliament who were investigated in this scandal. One was a former chief executive officer, that is the Honorable Mustafa Yusuf. And so in his case, we basically had the evidence, relating to actions that he had taken as the executive officer, and then we interrogated him. In the case of the famous A+, the investigation is still ongoing, and there are talks with him with respect to the role that he will play, either in respect of providing evidence against those who try to do what is alleged to have been done, or if at the end of the day no agreement is reached, then maybe he will have to stand trial. That is where we are with respect. So the investigations are ongoing. We haven't concluded with him yet. The investigators were supposed to go to Parliament and do the interrogation in Parliament, and at the last time that they made a request, they could not do the interrogation. Now, in terms of the timing of prosecution, there have been a number of developments that came in very late. So as late as yesterday in the evening, we met in the office with one of the principal actors who is offering, to provide us with evidence. In other words, the person wants a non-prosecution, agreement. So we've asked that the lawyer should, she should go, and she and the lawyers should go and then bring the proposal for us to examine and then see what what can be done. Okay, so we are thinking that in the next 2 weeks we will be able to evaluate all of those proposals, including the fact that suspect Jamefi was rearrested. We'll have to look into the additional accounts, and then in the next 2 weeks we can deal with all those issues, and by the first week of July we should be filing charges against them. Now, someone asked, why the press briefing? This is a perennial question that I get all the time. The detractors of oral, that is those who do not want or are not enamored of the oral agenda, would usually say that this is persecution, a persecution of the suspects in the media, or prosecution of the suspects in the media. Now, the United States of America is one of the world's oldest democracy. Okay, and U.S. prosecutors, district attorneys, or even the Attorney General of the United States of America, when they conclude investigations, they brief the press on their findings. sometimes they file the charges and come out of the courtroom to brief the press on the charges that have been filed. There is nothing absolutely wrong with this. So those who think that accounting to the people, if you look at the meaning of the word accountability simply means to explain one's actions. And so we have a duty to account to the people of this country. And so when I'm taking prosecutorial decisions, you know, I need to account to the people of our country for the decisions that I take. So this is the whole essence of the exercise, and especially within the context of oral. We don't want any situation where we file charges and then we are being told that we have just decided to persecute people because of their political leanings. In all the press briefings that I have done, I have not mentioned or connected any political party to the actions of the people that, you know, I arrest and investigate. Okay? So the idea of doing this is not in order to make any political party look bad or any faction in our Ghanaian politics look bad. What we are doing is simply to account to the people of this country. And it doesn't matter how many times it is said, I will continue to account to the people of this country through the press briefings that we, the press engagements that we do from time to time. Then what are the criteria for an NPA? And then somebody asked, what is the difference between an NPA, that is a non-prosecution agreement, and a plea bargain? A non-prosecution agreement is an aspect of the plea bargain. A plea bargain is simply a negotiation between the prosecutor and a person suspected of the commission of a crime, okay, that may turn out to achieve a number of objectives. Okay, so sometimes you drop the charges in exchange for the payment of a fine or a penalty. Sometimes you drop the charges so that that person will serve as a witness, and because the person was proximate to the commission of the crime, they will have information that is compelling enough to prove your charges for you. All right, so we do plea bargaining, and one of the outcomes of a plea bargain may be an NPA, that is a non-prosecution agreement. Okay, so that means that when we sign the non-prosecution agreement, we usually would immunize that person, grant that person indemnity from prosecution on certain conditions, or, you know, sometimes unconditionally. Okay, so it is guided by, you know, some, considerations in the context of the prosecution itself, or the criminal justice system. And by the way, in Ghana, we have the Plea Bargain Act, which is an amendment to Act 30 that allows the Attorney General to enter into a plea deal. And by the way, just by way of public information, I have never, okay, and I want to repeat that, I have never approached anybody who is under prosecution now or who will be prosecuted for a plea deal. I've seen on social media allegations that I charge someone and then subsequently I'm asking the person for a plea deal. I'm always in my office quietly and they send people to come to me and then seek, you know, audience as to whether I am amenable to a plea deal. All right, and until such a time that we achieve the plea deal, we normally don't announce it, you know, to the public. So that is what a bargain is, and then the NPA can be a result, that is the non-prosecution agreement can be the result of plea negotiations. The last question was with respect to what His Excellency the President said regarding the freezing of assets. What we froze were their bank accounts. All right? What we froze were their bank accounts. Okay? But they may have other assets, such as houses, okay, apartment blocks, cars, and so on. Okay? Those are the subject matter of the investigation that is taking place now. And as I said in the first press conference, which was on the Kwabena Edubonhe investigation, I said we normally do contemporaneous investigation of the crime, the criminal enterprise, as well as the asset recovery. All right. So we are using the same approach now, but with this one, it is slower because of the fact that, you know, if once we begin the prosecution, you will understand that they were doing mostly cash transactions. Okay, someone, will go and take the cash from the bank and then go and give it to one of the directors or one of the staff, and so on and so on and so forth. Okay, so unlike the previous investigation where the documentary trail was very easy and then led us to certain assets that the person owned, because some of them were owned by his companies and so on. In this case, it is a bit different. That is why we have frozen the financial assets, that is the accounts, but we are still doing the investigation with respect to houses, cars, and so on. I hope that makes it very clear for the person who wanted to know the difference between what His Excellency said and then what I said in my press briefing. Thank you.
Yeah, so if there are any, please come forward. If there are any other questions, we will take them in this round, after which we will draw down the curtains on this session. So please identify yourself and ask your question.
My name is Clement from the Fourth Estate.
Please.
Clement Edward Kumsa from the Fourth Estate. The team want to find out, during our investigations, management said it's only Ghana card that can be used to validate a national service personnel on their platform. It appears the platform was easily manipulated and the ghost names were uploaded. We want to find out, in your prosecution, are those the developers of the platform parts of those you are prosecuting?
All right, thank you. Are there any other questions, please? Okay.
My name is Benis Bese. I report for the Chronicle, and I'm also a court reporter. We've seen the Dr. Opuni prosecution, how it went. It took almost 7 years. What is the timeline for this prosecution? Are we going to see it traveling or going on the long haul like 7 years, or the 4 years will go by when this prosecution has not ended? Because we've heard something that they are going to frustrate the case.
All right, thank you. Please pass it on to the next questioner.
My name is Vanessa Addo.
Please come forward. Step forward. Yeah.
My name is Vanessa Addo. I'm with Ignite Media Metro TV. So my question is, this is a lot of money, over 548 million. Are we going to recover all these monies? And it wouldn't just be that people are prosecuted, probably they go to jail, and that's it, because it's a lot of money and it can do a lot of things for the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So that will be it for the questions in this round, which is the final round, I must indicate. Honorable Attorney General, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for the questions. The first one relates to the IT system and its vulnerability to manipulation. You are right about the fact that the IT system, from all that we have gathered, has been very, vulnerable and has been manipulated to foster the criminal enterprise that I am describing today. Now, the question whether the IT, the developer will be prosecuted is, for me, it's not a question that we should be asking. The reason is simply because it's a contractual, issue. Okay, so they have developed a system. If there are vulnerabilities in the system, or it is deficient and is not fit for purpose, that's a contractual issue, and we can take that up and then sue them because the system was not fit for purpose. Now, if in the course of that we discover, for instance, that they deliberately set it up to be manipulated in this manner, then we can say that they are accomplices. Okay, but in the current circumstances, the IT management personnel who were the ones who manipulated the system for purposes of fostering the criminal enterprise are the ones that we are concentrating on now. Then the timeline for prosecution. Well, I have my prosecutorial plan laid out, okay? And I'm keenly aware of what defense lawyers can do, okay? I was for many years a defense lawyer myself, so I know their tricks. All right, if you remember the famous Tagore case, I was the one who freed Tagore together with Kisi Ajabing from prison. So I know what to look for, what defense lawyers look for in, any prosecution. If you picked up, thank you for the intelligence that you have picked up, that they say that they and their lawyers will frustrate me. I have plans in place to avoid frustration. Okay? I know what I am doing. And together with my able deputy, we will make sure that the people of this country, because if they frustrate me, they are frustrating the people of this country. And as one of the questioners, said, 548 million is a lot of money. In fact, the president is thinking of a Accra-Kumasi expressway that will make it possible for, commuters to travel within, an hour to Kumasi. That 548 million, in my estimation, could have built that expressway. So yes, it is a lot of money, and that is why we are going to take the prosecution really very seriously. Look, if you have had 8 million Ghana cedis lodged into your account from public funds, and you say you frustrate the prosecutor, how are you going to do that? Supposing he didn't know, that's a different matter altogether. Or if you have your companies and public monies are flowing through your companies, and you cannot tell the prosecutor why those monies were being transferred to your company and they were being used for private purposes, and you say you frustrate the prosecutor, well, they should come with all the technicalities in the world. We are waiting for them. We are waiting for them in the courtroom. This is going to be a different ball game altogether. I'm not bragging, but it's going to be a different ball game altogether. So we will do our best, and thereafter, as for recovery, is an integral part of our strategy. Recovery is an integral part of our strategy. All right. The meaning of oral is Operation Recover or Loot. And so once we institute a prosecution in the context of oral, recovery is an integral part of it. We are not going to, leave any stone unturned. Can we recover everything? We may not be able to recover everything, but we will certainly recover funds for this republic and for public use. So I thank you very much. God bless all of you, and see you at the next press briefing.
Okay, abusuya wene ensema ekoso ewo political highway so NPP appointees na chese omudimirika tente omokohwe de attorney general ebetumi ayama ida so bepene for plea bargaining no anase onte ase abusuya attorney general na yetene nka se odesa ensem no etujane ebeda mase samoje pene kokoti sa ensem we edemai aha Ghana Politics Avenue. So political trending stories are ekoso bia no yenso yaje atum Madam Ase.